Good grief, guys. All I want to do is the next in no particular order on Thanksgiving foods, and you want to try pumpkin cookies? Mike, do you want to tell us what these are?
Yes, absolutely. So I went to Trader Joe's about a year ago now, and I got these petite pumpkin spice cookies. They're absolutely delicious. They're shortbread cookies with pumpkin spice and yogurt coating. I spoke very highly of these 1 year ago. Enough so that Travis went out and tried to buy some for us, and we ended up trying some different pumpkin spice cookies, but they weren't the same.
Travis got us some biscotti, and good grief, they were bad.
But I did buy some pumpkin cream sandwich cookies that were actually really good. So let's not.
I don't really remember those. They couldn't have been that good.
Really quick, honorable mention. We have been eating the shit out of these. Go ahead.
Those are God.
What are they?
Drizzylicious.
The Drizzlelicious. They're Drizzlelicious pumpkin spice bites, and they are God.
They're good, and they're from Sam's. But these are special.
Brought to you by Asheville PD.
These are different, guys. These are Trader Joe's here. And we're going to do a live taste test here. Live.
You have the right to remain silent.
Live from Kenner. Inside of a dark and moist garage.
Mr. Slade.
It's
Alright,
merged.
so we're gonna do a taste test
Immersed.
on the petite pumpkin spice cookies. I think they're yogurt covered shortbread
Alright,
cookies.
everybody, let's try the white ones.
Do the
The
white.
white one.
Why are we doing white first?
Because
it's
the one that I
superior.
grabbed.
Rosa would not approve.
Patrick, what do you think?
These are actually pretty good, and I hate to say that because I fucking hate most everything pumpkin spice. But these are good. They're way better than the Drizzlelicious pumpkin spice bites.
Hey, come on now.
So the whites are good.
In theory,
The whites are good.
Sean?
except for
They're
January 6th.
they're
What do
wonderful.
you think, Sean?
They're pretty damn good. I could eat the whole box of these.
Todd.
They're God.
I'm glad you think it's hilarious, Russell.
They're good.
These might sort of an
They're
insurrection.
God. Travis?
These are actually delicious. They're probably are. They're way better than the biscotti. They're better than the pumpkin cream sandwich cookies that we had last year as well. So I'm gonna say very good.
They're
So,
powerful. Like,
Yeah.
powerful.
All right.
Like a pumpkin exploding in your
Russell?
mouth.
What do you think?
It's pretty solid. I like it's a little bit more subtle than I thought it was going to be. Pumpkin flavoring wise, but it's good.
All right,
The
everybody,
white, the
let's
white's
try.
powerful.
Let's try the orange.
Oddly enough, they are not. They're good. They're not as good as the white ones for whatever reason.
Because they're brown.
These gotta belong on the back of the bus. Or the shopping cart or the container.
They're not brown. They're orange. Like a certain candidate.
Hey, yo.
I don't know. They kind of have like an aftertaste,
Mm-hmm.
but a good aftertaste.
No, this
They're really similar, but it's like ever so slightly different.
Like an orange man just
aftertaste.
exploded in your mouth.
they all taste the same to me.
These taste more fall-like.
Yeah, it could be
With good
be
hair.
overthinking.
Like I'm gnawing on some potpourri right now.
Yeah.
Some potpourri.
It's a shame it's all getting redacted.
These make me want to kick a window in on 12th night.
These are
Damn
God.
full.
I actually don't think there's going to be much of this box left by the end of this pod, but thank you, Mike, for putting these on there. Very good.
Thank you for helping me run my diet.
I said
Okay.
they
These are also low fat, aren't they?
This thing's Trader Joe's. Thank you, Trader Joe's.
Shout out to Trader Joe's. If you're looking to sponsor the Waste Wagons podcast,
that came up this weekend because the same company owns
Pumpkin
Aldi's.
Spice cookies.
The same company owns Aldi's, so is the owner of the company's Joe Aldi? I don't know.
So, listeners, the real test here is that a fellow Wagoneer that hates pumpkin spice actually likes it. Patrick, you
Mine?
liked it.
those are okay. I would not buy them, but I would eat them if they were presented to me.
Like right
what
now.
kind of a vessel?
Almost any. Not a foot though.
Very good.
You wouldn't eat it off of a foot?
Nope, but about a whole yes.
So
Out of a starfish, absolutely.
Kind of like a golf caddy almost.
Chocolate
Chocolate
starfish.
flavored starfish?
Chocolate starfish.
With the hot dog flavored water, yeah, bring it.
All right, so
The white one's definitely better than the brown one.
Hey,
Yeah.
yo.
I like the brown ones.
I
don't dislike them.
I know you do, Todd.
I don't dislike them.
And that's what I like about you, Todd.
Wait, I don't dislike the brown, but I prefer the white.
What are we talking about?
Yeah, well, the cookies were orange and white.
This episode won't be out for about 3 weeks. It'll be out before Thanksgiving, but not anytime soon.
It'll be out on Thanksgiving.
Maybe.
right on time, since our top 5 is going to be our top 5 Thanksgiving foods. Now, as I finish up these cookies, Mike was asking before we started our top 5, how do we prefer our Thanksgiving turkey cooked? And I'm going to go ahead and start with that, I guess, and I'll say I like a good baked turkey. I like a good baked turkey with some juices injected in it, and yeah, nice and moist and juicy.
So I'll follow that up, and I'll just like to start by saying how wrong you are. And
Damn.
a good fried, like an air fried turkey, is the way to go. You know, it doesn't matter if it's like infrared or whatever the other options are. But, I don't know,
Infrared.
baked turkeys just terrible. They're trash.
Was Russell on this when I said that I liked ham over turkey?
Ham is
I don't
a
think
step
so.
below turkey. Actually, no, ham's okay. I don't like turkey that much.
Episode 11 from a long, long time ago is when we talked about Thanksgiving. We didn't give a
Yeah,
top
because
five.
it was heresy that I said I prefer ham over turkey.
I think I can get on board with that.
My man.
I'm not going to spoil my top 5 list with my preference on how I like my turkey cooked, but I will say that I am okay with any version of a turkey being cooked.
I could say whatever turkey it is I like with gravy or some kind of glaze, because I find turkey to be pretty dry. I don't dislike turkey. That's probably why I like ham
You
over.
wouldn't kick it out of bed or anything.
Exactly. But the ham glaze is good too. Like ham has already got that sweetness to it, and then you put like some of that on there.
Sweetness.
Some sweetness on it. I don't know what the hell ham glaze is, but it's like it's a pile of sugar on it. But same with
It's
turkey.
like brown sugar, huh?
Yeah, it's like something like that. It's like melted. It's like simple syrup or something like that. But yeah, any kind of turkey has to have for me like some kind of turkey leg that's got the skin and it's juicy, or like gravy put on it to soak that in. You know, it needs to be juicy. Todd's sitting on frogs over here.
I mean, kind of like what Travis said. Like traditionally, my mom baked the turkey every year, so my preference towards turkey is when it comes right out of the oven. Like after my dad carved it, that's when it was like the most juicy. So that's what I was raised on. So that's what I'm gonna say. But kind of like what Patrick was going on. If it's fried, I've never had an air fried turkey, but I mean, if it's fried outside in a pot, like in a king cooker outside, like I'll take that as well.
I like turkey. Growing up,
Thanks,
I
Mike.
had
Should have just stopped it right there.
I like ham.
growing up, I had turkey fricassee.
Rabbit fricassee,
No,
master.
turkey fricassee, and that was really good.
That's all on a
in
Dr.
my-
Moreau, Patrick.
In my adult life,
What?
I had baked, fried, and smoked. I've personally smoked the turkeys, and that's the way I like to do them. And I think they come out really good. But a good fried turkey is God. It's God.
How many hearts out of 5?
Huh?
How many hearts out of 5?
A fried turkey? 5.
Nope.
So yeah. But see, you're missing the point here. I like turkey.
I'm not missing the point at all. Don't worry.
Adam Sandler would be proud.
I guess I'll start with my top 5. Since yeah, why not?
That's what we're doing here. Let's jump right
All
in.
right. First off, my top 5, right? I wanna say the one thing I do not like. Fuck. Okay, the one thing I do not like
Yeah, right there.
in a Thanksgiving table,
Douche.
in my Thanksgiving meal, and me and my wife go round and round about this every year because she absolutely loves it, and she thinks that every Thanksgiving it needs to have it, and I totally disagree. And this garbage
Let's say cranberry.
is
Yep.
peas,
That's garbage.
and not just any peas,
Interesting.
because there is a hierarchy in peas. If y'all did not know,
No, we didn't know.
there is a hierarchy in peas.
Jolly Green Giant.
And supposedly the hierarchy is the best peas around is Lejeune peas.
That is true.
Okay.
Okay,
My
but
mom used to like those.
I think they're all fucking garbage. And I don't like fucking peas.
Mike, do you eat a lot of greens in general?
No. Alright.
Mm.
The next thing on the list
Shocking.
is not on my top 5, but it's a must have. Okay, it's a must have. I have to have it every Thanksgiving. It is very dear to my heart. And it is ham. But not just any ham.
Yes.
Okay? It's got to be the very local and very good and delicious, scrumptious
Shiseishi.
Chisaisi ham.
Fuck yeah.
But not just Chisaisi ham, right?
Oh my god, you wrapped this.
It has to be with the crazy concoction that my wife does with like, it's like cherry juice, Coke, brown sugar,
Cocaine?
and some other crap.
Okay, all right. Well, let me just interject here. We've been talking a long time about my mom having to bring shrimp and melitons as well as crawfish pies to this pie.
And I did remind my mom this past week about that.
When she's not sure
When
her
they
pants.
Bruh.
I didn't hear.
When she's not shitting her pants.
No.
At Zephyrfield.
She better.
Ah, but was it Zephyrfield or was it the Coliseum? You know?
I'm
was-
sorry.
it was
to interrupt
Levi
you, Todd,
Stadium,
what
I
did
don't
you
know.
say? You did remind your mom?
I did remind mom, yeah, that she didn't do it. But she's complaining about the peeling, so we might have to go and peel.
That's fine.
What does this have to do with ham?
Because we need to try some of this fucking ham with cherry Coke on top of it.
Fucking right. We
So
did.
that's what he was saying. Like, my mom needs to make the crawfish pies and the shrimp and mirliton. Jamie needs to make the ham
Absolutely. Jamie makes good ham.
with the
and
cherry
really,
Coke
it's,
concoction.
It's a tradition.
We're going to have a Friendsgiving on
Um,
fucking Wasted Wagons podcast.
Jamie does not make it as good as my late father-in-law. Man, he made the fucking best ham, dude. Unbelievable. It's like it's glazed in like this great concoction. But anyway.
Do they use pineapples as well? Like there's
Oh,
pineapple
yeah.
and cherry?
Oh, the pineapple
cherry,
rings, yeah.
Cherry juice, Coke. Fucking everything.
Actually
You
have,
name
does it actually have the pig's face on it?
It's got everything.
This is a love letter to ham.
Now, is it a coincidence that
But
both?
it has to be Chisaisi. It cannot be anything else.
But is it a coincidence that both Mr. Greg and my mom are Italian?
It's not a coincidence. Not a coincidence. Or maybe it is. I don't know.
So do you have a top 5 or not?
I do have a top 5.
That was 5?
No. That was just a must-have. All right, here's my top 5, everybody.
Is that in the top 5? I mean, it sounds like you're salivating over it.
It needs to be in my top 5, but it's not in my top 5.
What's an honorable mention that's past number 1? I don't know.
It is. It's high
It's
up.
out of this world. Honorable mention.
It is hot. It is out of this fucking world. All right, number 5, in a particular order.
Oh.
So it's a combination. It's 2 different pies. Okay, it's 2 different pies, but I think they're both great. We do both
Cream pie.
traditionally.
That's what he's doing here, right?
Pumpkin
Or chips and salsa.
and apple. You have to have them both.
Apple pie, huh?
Apple
Warm
pie.
apple pie.
Oh man, it's God. It's so God. All right.
So do you eat them together or just completely separate? Does both come in at 5?
Yeah,
Do you
well,
like-
you
It
know,
tastes like cinnamon
so
toast crunch.
at our house, we graze
The
all
cinnamon
day.
toast crunch.
Like, we don't just, like, sit down and eat. We sit down and eat, and then eat 10 minutes later, and
Yeah,
eat
yeah.
an hour later,
Price
and, like,
checks.
all day we graze.
I think that's most people.
Yeah.
Most Thanksgiving.
So we eat the shit out of these pies.
Hair pies?
The next one on the list, number 4. I have
Thank you.
to do it. I don't know what it is. I have to have it. And this is not childhood because my mama didn't do
So is that 5?
it. It was number 5.
5 was 2 pies, apple and pumpkin.
Alright, gotcha.
This number
5.
4 is something that it's weird to me because we didn't have it when I was a kid. This is something that I ate with Jamie's parents, and oddly enough, I have to have it now. It's crazy, and that is cranberry sauce. Have to have cranberry.
Canned or homemade?
Homemade,
Can.
not the can, the one that
No,
comes out in the
it's
shape of the
gotta-
can.
It's got to be in the shape of the can.
Oh, it's got to be
Mike
in the
likes the
shape.
fleshlight looking
It's got to
cranberry
have.
sauce.
It's got to have the ribs. Okay, it's got to be ribbed for
You
his
have to
pleasure.
still see the grooves in it.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Cold cranberry sauce, ribbed for his pleasure.
For Mike's pleasure.
For his pleasure. Interesting.
All right.
For
next.
his Thanksgiving pleasure.
Next. Next is going to be mac and cheese. I absolutely like mac and cheese.
That is very
But
broad.
not just any mac
I was going
and
to say,
cheese.
what kind of mac
Oh,
and cheese?
Of course.
It's got to be the long noodle mac and cheese.
Long.
The long noodle.
Angel hair?
No, it's not angel hair.
Pane?
It's like, no, it's like
It's
long
actually-
noodle, hollow in the middle. I don't know.
Like
I gotta call
elbows?
Jamie. I don't know.
Like elbows, but just
fuck
like
is he
the big
talking
one.
about? Long?
Shit, Mike, I know what it is.
What is it?
Rigatoni?
Ziti? No, it's not.
There's got to be a name for it because macaroni is like the.
So it's like a long, hollow,
Have you on my
phallic looking pasta?
I'm out. Hey, babe.
Mike has just left the building to go find his number 3.
Alright, she's nowhere to be found. But anyway, this fucking macaroni is bomb. And they cook it with eggs and shit. I don't know.
Please
It's-
Google what
it's
this
really
looks like.
good. It's like New Orleans, right? Anyway.
It looks like the
mac-
nose on some cartoon
And
character.
it's baked. It's baked macaroni.
Yeah.
It's the long, hollow noodle
Long cut.
with eggs and cheese and everything.
That's rigatoni, isn't it?
I have
It's
no
not.
idea.
It's much smaller than
I don't know. I don't know what.
Please Google long
We'll
cut
come back to
macaroni.
it.
Russell is on a hunt. Alright, next up is New Orleans style cornbread with the sugar on top.
That's number 2.
Number
3.
2, right?
that. It's bucatini.
Number three. Cornbread with the sugar on top, real heavy on the sugar. I love that
You
shit.
said cranberry at 4.
I don't fucking know. Maybe I have 6.
And then
1,
rigatoni?
2, 3,
It's a
4,
top
5,
6.
6. Shit, I have a top 6. Never mind.
You gonna eat your cornbread?
Alright, number 3 is cornbread. New Orleans
Beans and
style
cornbread.
cornbread. And it's gotta be cooked. Babe! Please, what kind of. What, we're talking. Come here.
Jamie's entering the pot
Yeah.
again.
Wait, no, you.
Bucatini.
What is? Let me see.
Wait, this is very special for me.
Slap
okay?
your mama.
Very,
What the?
very
I've
special.
never seen
Sit
that
right here.
before.
That's good.
Sit right here. Wait,
Scared to know.
everybody.
Russell's already found it.
My lovely
Join us.
wife has joined the pod.
This.
Hello, hello.
Okay, so Jamie, we're doing our top 5 and his favorite Thanksgiving foods.
It's tube.
Okay.
It's tube
And I
pasta.
have told everybody that I have foods that I grew up with, and then foods that I grew up with your family, and now they're part of my family.
Uh-huh.
And we're trying to figure out
That's how marriage works.
the long macaroni, the baked macaroni.
Uh-huh.
What kind of noodles is that?
It's long macaroni. I have some in the pantry right now.
It's called long macaroni.
It's called long macaroni.
There you go,
Wait,
everybody.
let me go get it. I'll be right back.
No, don't go get it. I'll leave you.
That is what.
Machine.
It's probably the proper. I think luxury
She ha-
actually calls it. long
Everybody,
macaroni.
she has this in the pantry right as we speak. We are prepping up for Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is a big staple in our house.
As is most every household.
It's huge. It's huge.
Huge.
And
Huge.
baked macaroni. All right, Jamie, tell us what it is.
Luxury brand
Oh, it is
from
called
New
long macaroni.
Orleans. Long macaroni. A Louisiana classic since 1914.
So it's not
So
bucatini.
I want to say the Italian version is probably bucatini. which I've never called it
Yeah.
that before. I've
It
always
was
seen
probably
that.
the Italians that came to New Orleans and then just called it
Long
long
macaroni.
macaroni.
It's the
So-
same shit.
So while I'm on my top 5, because it's my turn, babe, I was telling them what I think is absolute garbage at the Thanksgiving table. Can you elaborate
The
what
peas.
what my garbage and your must-have is?
The peas,
What kind of peas, babe?
the fancy peas,
What are the fancy
the
peas called?
leisure.
Leisure peas.
Leisure.
Wow.
It's
Fre-
not a must-have.
French
but
peas.
It's peas. He hates peas. I'm like, you gotta have the peas.
Specifically?
Just because.
Specifically.
Leisure.
Leisure.
It's the only time you eat the fancy peas.
All right, so we talked about the New Orleans cornbread, New Orleans style cornbread. Then number 2 on the list is a must-have at my household, and it is the yams with the marshmallows on top. I have to have it. Yams, marshmallows
number 2?
on top. That's number 2. And my favorite, number 1, Jamie probably will say it's her number 1 too. Please tell me if it's not. My number 1 must-have Thanksgiving food at my kitchen table at the Ortiz residence: oyster dressing.
Ooh, threw me for a loop there.
Ooh.
Oyster
Ooh,
dressing.
that's a big one.
It's got. It's got. Jamie, do you have anything else to add? What's your favorite?
Dressing, but no oysters.
See, you don't
like
like the
plain.
oyster.
You
I
like
love
a,
the oyster.
like a cornbread dressing.
It's
And
the same dressing, but you just put a little plain. We call it plain dressing. So you got the plain dressing, and you got the oyster dressing.
they
So
make
you make it
different.
the
Yeah, they
same,
make
but before
different
you drop the
dressings every
oyster.
year. But your dad always, or I don't know if it was your daddy or mom, but they always stuffed the turkey with oyster dressing
Mm-hmm.
and scoop that shit right out the fucking turkey's butt and stick it in your mouth. It's delicious.
Of course. Do we expect anything different?
Of course.
We all like scooping out butts. Yeah.
Stuffing butts. That's
Stuffing butts and then
It's on
scooping it out.
Wednesday's butt stuffing.
That is my
It
top
is.
6.
At a certain school.
Sean, would you like to go next?
I think I have 5 on my list. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Yep.
Thank you, Jamie.
There you go. I'm gonna take my long macaroni back
You don't
there.
have to go. You can sit down.
You got a bucatini.
A bucatini.
Bucatini.
Bucatini long macaroni. I'm gonna do some research on this. I'll let y'all know where this came from.
Y'all notice kind of people that they talk like this, but then when they say an ethnic name, they're like bucatini, and it's like, what the hell just happened to you? Like, Medicati. Just mix it al dente with the cottage cheese.
Damn.
It's like, you sound really weird. Anyway, this is actually, I was surprised on my list because I started naming things that are favorites at Thanksgiving, which is usually at my cousin's house. It's some of them are kind of unique, but it's ones that I look forward to every year. So, number 5, I'll just get that one out the way, is any kind of stuffing, cornbread stuffing, whatever, but specifically melatonin stuffing.
Burleton.
Or, we say melatonin around here.
I'm always in the melatonin too.
Melatonin, bro. Melatonin. I know how to spell it. I wrote it correctly, okay? We say melatonin. Whether they're in the peppers or not, or, just in, like almost like a casserole. And then I can't follow Mike's mac and cheese thing, but yes, baked macaroni and cheese has to be a staple of, and specifically I like my cousins. I don't know why. It's like there's so many of them out there, but it's a go-to that, I think she even makes it for Christmas and brings it to my house. But, the family always requests her macaroni and cheese. And then these are the one, well, sort of more specific, is when we get there, before we actually eat the Thanksgiving meal, but it's Thanksgiving is when we always have it, is a friggin' shrimp mold.
Yep.
The shrimp mold with the club crackers, and I feel
That is the best. I forgot about
I
that.
feel like I eat like 10 of those damn things, and it's like, all right, stop, like save room for other food,
Shrimp mold is probably my real number 2, but I forgot about
Slather it on there. I mean, also like cream cheese and pepper jelly, but yeah, definitely shrimp mold. And then number 2 has got to be not just potato salad, but I've been a fan of loaded potato salad. loaded potato salad that's like the baked potato. It's got like the cheese and like sour cream and stuff. It's like it's like mashed
I've
potato.
never had that.
It's like potato salad, but it also tastes like a baked potato. And they like Rouse's sells it. Sam's has some, but I like so many different kinds of potato salad. But if you can get a loaded potato salad, it's got bacon bits in it and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. You know, like the one at Rouse's, I'll go buy that and bring that for Thanksgiving. And people are like, oh, this is awesome. It's like, I'm not going to pretend I made it. I can't make shit. So, but I got it from Rouse's. And lastly, number one, quick top 5, has to be my cousin Tim's gumbo. What he does is after we have dinner, or Thanksgiving, like mid-afternoon, whatever the hell, he takes the leftover turkey bits and makes a gumbo out of it. Like puts the whole like leftover bones and everything, turkey neck, all that in there, and makes a gumbo out of it. And I mean, there's like all the little bits and pieces in it, but I mean, the gumbo is so good. And the game changer was we take that baked macaroni and cheese and pour the gumbo over that. No rice. The baked macaroni, the gumbo over the baked macaroni and cheese. And after he's done doing that, he usually makes everybody old fashions. I think I've sent y'all pictures of those once or twice over the years. So that gumbo, an old fashioned, watching football, that's like a yearly thing that I look forward to on Thanksgiving.
Sounds delicious.
I'm gonna ask you a question about that guy, your cousin Tim, after we're off air.
Okay.
I'll go ahead next, and my list is going to be pretty non-traditional.
If so, it's a small world.
My grandmother was 100% Italian, born and raised in Italy, and a lot of my dishes are Italian-based.
Okay.
So jumping right in,
She's a
not
dish.
not all of them, but jumping right in into piggyback off of Mike.
Mother's a dish.
That's grandmother.
My number 5 is, we'll call it long noodle mac and cheese.
Hey.
It's a bunch of different ways you can make it.
It's called Bugatti or something like that. I already forgot the
Bucatini.
Bucatini. I already forgot
It's
the
not a
name.
car.
You call it bukkake?
I called it. No, Patrick. I called it Bugatti, not Bukkake.
It is typically made with eggs, kind of like a carbonara, at least in my experience. I'm sure you can make it a ton of different ways, but it's just a staple thing to always have. Some form of mac and cheese, but that is probably my favorite, specifically for Thanksgiving. Going number 4.
And then
Yeah.
you take
Then-
a spoonful.
and then.
You take a spoonful of that glaze from that ham, and you pour it on top of that mac
See,
and cheese.
I'm a fan of pouring the red sauce on the mac and cheese. Like,
Sure. There is a.
I like the hand motion where you said the glaze from that ham.
Okay, moving on. Number 4. So, huge fan of corn casserole. I think growing up, I've actually called it corn pudding, which I don't know if anybody ever refers to it as
Not
that.
cornbread stuffing, right?
It's
Like,
so it's probably similar.
it's
to that,
creamier.
but
It's a
so
casserole.
you're essentially making it's
Yeah.
like creamed corn, whole kernel corn. You have a box of like Jif cornbread in it, and then like some sour cream, maybe some cheese on top.
Mhm.
It's more like a casserole, but it's definitely not pudding like by any means, but it's delicious. I feel like we've always had that. I've made it sometimes. I've brought that to like work events. Everybody loves that stuff. Number 3, cannelloni. Yeah.
Interesting.
Like I said, definitely not traditional. This is something that's a staple. Always have it at my Thanksgiving meals. My grandmother she passed, say, roughly 10 years ago. And one of the really cool things that was done by one of her daughters, so my aunt, was she literally made a recipe book of all the recipes that she used to cook and gave it out to like every single family member. So like everybody takes turns making items from this book. And my number 1 is also one of those items that was made from this book. But the cannelloni is typically chicken that's in it. It's always served at my family Thanksgiving dinner, and it's just delicious. Number 2. So I'm gonna call it sweet potato casserole because I just do not like the word yam. I don't know. Never called it that.
I've always wondered where yam comes from.
I also associate yam with the marshmallow topping, and that is not how we serve ours. We have pecans on top of ours, like a candied pecan.
Yeah.
And I've even had it with like coconut in it, and it's very, very interesting. Very, very delicious. Always a staple. Always pop my plate up real high with the fucking sweet potato casserole. Number 1, by far, and this is what I plan on making for upcoming Thanksgiving, is lasagna. It is one of my
Two
favorite
Italian dishes.
Yeah,
Huh?
one of my favorite things that my grandmother used to make.
Very
It's
traditional lasagna.
Pretty simple. Yeah, no, it's nothing. She made the red sauce from scratch. I've also made this recipe. It's pretty easy. The hardest part figuring out is like what a granny-sized handful of oregano is. But yeah, lasagna is literally almost at every single one of our holiday meals, and it is always my favorite thing.
Nice. Interesting. Well, my family has ham. That's why I like ham so much. We always have ham at Thanksgiving and turkey.
For the record, turkey is just meh. I don't care for turkey at all. Like, yeah, I'm sure this is not a
Fighting
common.
words?
Yeah, I like a lot of other things besides turkey.
Internally outraged.
I'll jump in. 3 honorable mentions. First is gonna be pecan pie. I find pecan pie really good, but it's not necessarily my go-to dessert on Thanksgiving. But I do really like it. It was actually the first pie I think I've ever had that I really liked. Number 2, green bean casserole. No one's had that on the list yet. I was just actually texting my mother-in-law about it because I'm pretty sure she was saying that her, I guess you would call it sister-in-law, kind of, sort of, makes eggplant and shrimp casserole, but I'm pretty sure from what I remember it was green bean casserole, so I'm putting that on there because I really liked it. And last time I mentioned, my mother-in-law makes a really good sweet potato casserole. Again, like I kind of like what Russell said with the word yam. I don't particularly care for that word either. I like sweet potatoes. My mother-in-law makes a really good sweet potato casserole, and that's my last honorable mention. Now moving into my top 5. Number 5, my Aunt Madeline makes a really good banana split cake. Never had one before until I started going over there for Thanksgiving. She makes it every year, and she claims she makes it just for me and Travis because we like it so much. So whenever we go over there, I have to make sure I get a piece of the banana split cake.
And what does that consist of?
It's got a layer of whipped cream on top, some pineapples, like 3 pineapple cuts on top, and then I guess like mashed up banana in the middle and graham crackers on the bottom.
Very good.
Number 4, of course, probably the best dessert to eat on Thanksgiving is pumpkin pie, but I'm going to include what my mom makes in that. And although it's not pumpkin pie, she makes pumpkin cupcakes. And it's almost, I guess, kind of like with Mike's, including the cornbread in there. It's kind of the same substance, I guess, of cornbread, but it's pumpkin. So
That's pumpkin.
So pumpkin pie / cornbread is my number 4.
Way better than chips and salsa.
Oh, without question. Who eats chips and salsa on Thanksgiving? Patrick, do you?
Yep. I would.
Number 3 is nobody's mentioned this yet, and it's kind of surprising, but I feel like it's kind of an OG staple of Thanksgiving, and that's mashed potatoes. What does mashed potatoes not go good with? I mean, you can dip your turkey in it, you can dip your roll in it.
Mashed potatoes and gravy, of course.
Sure.
Sure.
I mean, I can eat mashed potatoes with or without gravy. I mean, if you dip a roll in it with no gravy, it's just as good as with gravy.
White or dark gravy?
Dark.
Oh yeah, big time.
I don't know if
Red
I
or
can't
dark
trust
gravy?
anybody that does like
who eats white gravy on potatoes.
I know. Me neither. I don't know.
What is
Can't
white?
trust
What is white gravy? I don't know.
When you go to Texas Roadhouse, they ask you.
Well, I've never been, so. Number 2,
Get that in the front of the restaurant.
staple at my mom's house, and we've asked Mary to make this shit for the pod. She hasn't made it yet. So, Mom, if you're listening, we're very disappointed that you haven't come through for us on this. But it's shrimp and mirliton.
So once you're done shitting your pants, bruh, make us some shrimp and mulligan.
Why don't you leave the stadium?
In my mom's defense, she said if we agreed to peel the shrimp, she would make it for
We
us.
said
But-
a year ago that we would.
Now Thanksgiving, I don't think she's going to require us to peel the shrimp. So I
Can
asked
you?
if she can make an extra batch for us, just so we can eat it on the
Yeah,
pod.
can you just grab 6 of them and just bring them in? Like next podcast?
But it's really good. If you haven't had it, I'll make sure my mom makes it after Thanksgiving or for Thanksgiving, so I can bring it on the pod for all you guys to try. Staple in the Olivier household, shrimp and mirtons number 2, and number 1 is turkey. I mean, it's should be a no-brainer. I mean, turkey is just the foundation of Thanksgiving. You know, it doesn't necessarily matter if it's baked, if it's fried. I prefer baked because that's what I grew up on. Like I said, I don't know if we were talking about this before. This was right when this segment started. I prefer it baked right out of the oven, right after my dad would cut it with the little electric carving knife. I like the juicy white meat before it dries out.
Yeah, you do.
But turkey's number 1.
Is that turkey stuffed?
It can be stuffed or not. You know, my parents never usually stuffed it, but I know my cousin's house that we go to, my aunt's house that we go to, usually stuff it. Yeah.
What kind of stuffing?
Cornbread.
I'll go next to split up the Olivier, so there's some time in between their picks because I feel like there might be a bit of overlap on them.
Probably right.
2 honorable mentions. First honorable mention is sweet potato pie.
Yeah.
Preferably homemade, but I don't mind if it's store bought or from a bakery, from a reputable place that makes it. But sweet potato pie, it's really the only dessert, quote unquote, that I kind of gravitate towards for Thanksgiving. Always liked it, just been a thing. Have to have it, one of my go-tos. My last honorable mention will be a dish that my brother-in-law and I always make for Thanksgiving, along with the other meat entrees that we have. It's prime rib roast. We'll go and spend a substantial amount of money for a good quality cut of prime rib and make it, and it's delicious. It's so juicy and moist.
Can you bring a +1?
I will bring some back for you. How about that?
We already said we're gonna have a Wasted Wagons Friendsgiving, and we're gonna bring some of these things that we're talking about tonight.
I'm not opposed to that. We can do it even after a week or 2 after Thanksgiving ends, because I'll be out of town for Thanksgiving. But the next time we get together after Thanksgiving, we can absolutely bring a dish and do this. I'm all aboard that, and I will more than likely do a prime rib roast for you guys and make it that.
But you're already a dish.
Oh, thank you. My number 5, stuffed bell peppers / mirtons. Doesn't matter which one. Stuff them with ground meat, good quality ground meat. Perfect. I love them. Have to have it. We'll go back to seconds, thirds, fourths. Doesn't matter. Have to have.
I wanna fucking be a tackle right now.
my shout out to my mom. Miss Patricia does excellent stuffed bell peppers. I will probably try to get her to make them for me for another Friendsgiving that I have to go to this month. But they're always a hit. We destroy them, and I always go back for more. Can't go get away from them. My number 4 is a staple for any holiday, but it's very specific for Thanksgiving. It's good mac and cheese. The more cheese, the better. If you use buttermilk, that's fine. If you use regular milk, that's fine. I don't care what kind of cheese you use. Give me mac and cheese.
What kind of noodles?
I don't care. I don't care if you use long noodles. I don't care if you
Macaroni.
use regular macaroni. I don't care. Make mac and cheese. Make it good. I'm in. No questions asked.
Just not Kraft, right?
Mac and cheese grating.
Listen, if you want to buy Kraft macaroni noodles and then doctor it up, that can be done. But homemade mac and cheese is just a thing I have to have. My number 3, and this is the reason I didn't get into
Baked.
Yeah.
Is the key word.
Yes. My number 3 is, and it's been more this way for the last, I guess, maybe 4 or 5 years. It's a Cajun fried turkey. So a Cajun injection in a turkey, fried in a pot.
Yeah.
It's always super delicious. It's not overly spicy, but it's got some other additional flavors to it. Yeah. The best part about it is when you take it out of the fryer, you let it rest, and then you start carving the skin. The crispy skin on that turkey is what really sets it apart from, like, say, a baked turkey, which I still love, but the skin is what really, really fucking gets me. So that's why it's number 3.
I gotta add this real quick. I don't want to interrupt you. in the topic of fried turkeys, air fried versus traditional, like, peanut oil fried turkey.
Mhm.
Night and fucking day. Throw that air fried shit in the garbage
Also,
can.
what you gonna say? That's
Give me
fighting
that
words, huh?
fucking-
I agree with this, but I like
Give me the
both.
deep fried peanut oil turkey any
Peanuts.
fucking day. Way better than air fried.
I don't think anyone would really disagree with you. It's probably a matter of convenience and time for why you do air fry over the other.
I agree.
But like if
I've
it's
done both. By the way.
yeah, if it's a non-holiday, if I just want like a turkey, I'll find like a small like a Cornish
Air
hen
fry, yeah.
and air fry that if I want something like that. But yeah, of the two, I would prefer a fried peanut oil turkey over air fried or whatever or baked. But all turkeys matter to me.
All turkey.
A Cornish hen.
My number one
Even
and number
Cornish
two are
hens.
the same dish, just prepared and done different ways. And it's a dish that I will eat any time of the year. I don't care about the outside temperature, what season of the year we're in South Louisiana. I don't care how hot your kitchen gets to make it, how insufferable that is. My number two is chicken and sausage gumbo.
Hey. Yes.
Delicious. I will eat it year round, don't care. With that, my number one is seafood gumbo. My sister always makes gumbo for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and she'll make. Sometimes she'll do a hodgepodge and just make like what I would call trash can gumbo, which has
Oh, nice.
seafood
That's
and
the-
chicken
that's the
and
best
sausage
part,
in it.
yeah.
And then sometimes she'll just do chicken and sausage or seafood, and sometimes she'll do
Are you gonna
one
bring that on the pod too?
maybe. And sometimes she'll do one with okra in it. I don't love okra by itself because it's too slimy just in general.
It's good in
But
gumbo.
if it's in gumbo, the sliminess isn't really as prevalent because of all the other factors and ingredients in the gumbo. But gumbo, by far, is my number one Thanksgiving dish. I will make a plate of food of all the other items that we have, and that might be the last time I have a dedicated plate of that food. The rest of the time, I'm just eating gumbo, and then maybe like the day after, I'll make like a leftover ham sandwich or a leftover turkey sandwich on bread. But I am fixated on gumbo for Thanksgiving and the holidays like that. So gumbo, seafood gumbo, my number one. Right behind it is chicken and sausage gumbo.
Real quick. Okay. I don't want to interrupt you.
It's fine. I'm already
But
done.
in the topic of gumbo, I recently went to a place that is not known for their gumbo at all.
That was God.
At all. And it really wowed me. Enough to where I'm talking about it on this pod.
Mhm.
This place is mediocre at best for their po' boys. They're known for their po' boys, but to me
Please
it's
don't tell
mediocre.
me it's shortstop.
It is shortstop.
Oh,
Dude, mediocre. Get the
Mediocre
fuck out of here.
at best.
I
Okay.
agree.
So I decided.
I'm
I
sorry.
decided last
He
week.
ain't wrong.
I decided last week to get a half of shrimp po' boy.
Do you own the
And
place?
then I was looking. I was like,
Do you
what
own
kind of
the place?
side would go with it? I was thinking about jambalaya, but then I was like, oh, I'll try seafood gumbo because it happened to be Friday, and Friday over there was seafood gumbo Friday.
oh, yeah.
Let me tell you, man, that gumbo was fucking rocking.
Rocking.
Too bad that po'
Right.
boys aren't.
No, their po' boys are shit. But anyway, go ahead.
But no, that was my top five.
Yeah,
Gumbo
you
was
finished.
my
You
number
done.
2 and 1.
It's down the street from here, and we have it way too many times, and it's like, they're just average po' boys.
Yeah.
Travis goes as
I'll
well.
go ahead.
Mediocre at best.
They don't stand out to me at all.
I'd rather get a banh mi across the street.
Yes,
Yeah, because
absolutely.
We actually
Yes,
discussed this
see.
on our last top five, or two top fives ago.
The Banh Mi boys.
Banh Mi Boys and Shortstop from the most overrated restaurants episode. Check it out on Wasted Wagons on.
Banh Mi, I don't think
Spotify.
Banh Mi Boys was in that list.
No,
We talked
I think
about
Sean and Mike said that they prefer Banh Mi Boys across the street.
Yes.
They didn't,
Oh, okay.
didn't make anybody.
I got you. I'm sorry.
So I'm gonna go ahead and start. I got two honorable mentions. Most of these have already been mentioned by Todd, maybe with the exception of one. So I should be able to run through it pretty quickly. Number 7, I'm going to join the crew here with everybody with the baked mac and cheese. My mom, that is kind of like her staple. She brings it to any family function we go to for Thanksgiving. Now, instead of using the bucatini or long macaroni, as we found out earlier today, my mom uses elbow macaroni. So that is the way she usually makes it. And it, I generally am not a very big mac and cheese guy, but that is the one mac and cheese I usually make exception for. My mom's baked mac and cheese on Thanksgiving.
Eggs or no eggs?
I don't know my mom's recipe, so
Whatever's
I've
in
never
it.
actually seen her cook it. I would imagine there probably is eggs in it, but I'm not sure.
I think that's in the salad. I'm not sure.
Mom's love.
Second and last honorable mention, Todd has already mentioned this one as well. My dad's oldest sister, Madeline, would always make a banana split cake for Thanksgiving, and like he said earlier as well, she quote unquote made it just for us because we told her it was really good. So she'd make it every year, and all it is whipped cream with some pineapple and cherries on top, bananas in the middle, and it's got a graham cracker crust. It's a really good dessert. Number 5.
How many hearts would you give?
Oh, it's 5 hearts. God.
5 out of 5 hearts. It's got.
How many blue and black hearts would you give it?
All right, so number 5. Todd mentioned this one as well. I think he was the only one. But as far as vegetables are concerned, Mike mentioned his dislike for peas being on the table. But I actually do, when I look for greens on the table, it's usually green bean casserole. It tastes almost like a stuffed artichoke, if you make it properly. And that, in addition to baked mac and cheese, my mom usually does bring that as well for Thanksgiving, but some of my other cousins as well make a baked a green bean casserole as well. So that'll be my number 5. Number 4 is the long-awaited Waste and Wagons shrimp and merlaton, however you want to say it, that
Stuffed bell
Marilena has
peppers.
promised us. So hopefully we do get to try that soon. But my mom does make some really good shrimp and merlaton. So hopefully y'all get to try it and think it's as good as Todd and I do. And we will get on her with that for the holidays. Number 3, I was never, and Mike said he needs this on his table, which is the old-fashioned cranberry that comes out of the can and it still has the rings of the can in it. I have actually never been a cranberry fan when that shit was on the table. Now, when I became a cranberry fan was when my wife actually, when I started dating my wife, and she actually makes a cranberry mold every year. It's made with fresh cranberries. It's got the whipped cream included in it. And I have to say, when you put that on your turkey, it's a combo you try and then you never go back. So it's almost like I never eat my turkey plain anymore. I always have to have that cranberry mold on top. Very good. I'm sure other people make it like my wife, but I think my wife's cranberry mold is also, changed my opinion of cranberry. So I'm going to put that as number 3. Maybe we can bring that. I'll bring some of that on the pod too when we do a Friendsgiving. Number 2 also goes back to dessert. Mentioned the banana split cake as my number 2 honorable mention, but when you think of Thanksgiving, favorite dessert always has to be pumpkin oriented. We just tried these delicious pumpkin spice cookies, so same with Todd. I'm gonna lump these together: pumpkin pie / pumpkin muffins or cupcakes. Those are gonna be my number 2. Always have to close out the Thanksgiving Day meal with 1 or 2 muffins, maybe a slice of pie as well. And then number 1 is going to be turkey. And if, don't really discriminate on turkey, but I do probably prefer it to be baked just because that's what we grew up on. A baked turkey pumped with some nice, nice juicy spices and,
Butt stuffed.
stuffed. Butt stuffing
Nice,
tonight on Wednesday.
nice juicy, moist
Stuffed to
chicken.
the brim.
So
The title of this is Travis Doesn't Discriminate on Turkey.
turkey is my number 1.
Turkey.
And that shouldn't be a surprise. Turkey is the staple of Thanksgiving.
I honestly wasn't even thinking of desserts because, like pumpkin pie, pecan pie.
Poontang.
But then I can't believe I forgot it because it's my grandma's recipe is peanut butter pie. My cousin makes it. I've made it and brought it to work and gotten compliments on it. It's like an old handwritten recipe that we have, and it's just a whole bunch of condensed milk and whipped cream and just a shit ton of peanut butter.
Do you think eggnog falls in on Thanksgiving, Patrick?
If it's got pumpkin spice in it.
What if I make like a pecan
You should try that.
eggnog? Would you guys drink it?
Yes.
I've just made the pumpkin, the peanut
Sure.
butter, and the original.
Peanut butter's so good.
It's God. Peanut butter is a mouth orgasm.
But you know,
God.
y'all mentioned.
I think I like the pumpkin
it
the best
was-
though. So
It was Todd. No, Travis mentioned it, and it's something that kind of like spiked my, like it's a little part of my brain that just kind of like wow.
Piqued your fancy?
Yes, it did. The stuffed artichoke. And I was like, oh man,
Yeah.
how did I forget that?
Yep.
Stuffed artichoke. Oh, so
I don't know if I've ever really had one at the table, but like I said, the green.
So good.
My mom's green bean casserole tastes exactly like a stuffed artichoke. So
I was enjoying those leaves at Heather's party at Second Line.
Yeah.
yeah, those are
Yeah.
good.
Oh, those were really good.
Mhm.
Oh, that was rice.
Sucking them leaves.
Yeah, we pretty much had all the food catered from Spartans.
So good. They got little, baby tiny Italian ladies working in the background making those stuffed artichoke leaves. It's so good.
Crazy Johnny's is coming back, and every time I went there, it was always stuffed artichoke to start the
It's fucking awesome.
Where are they coming?
I don't know, did y'all see
where the
They-
city
I don't know what
the
Petco is on
City,
Vets.
the
Cigar
bar, city
City-
bar, whatever it
City Bar?
is. Yeah, I
They're
don't know what
like
that side
add on
street
to it,
is.
too.
But, oh really? I see the buildings getting worked on. Yeah.
Yeah, also at the old Radio Shack, I heard your sister actually was the one who
Oh.
posted it.
Right?
This new restaurant, Roomba.
Oh,
Is that what
I
that's
saw
what
that
they're
building,
doing? Yeah.
Can't wait to try that.
I was wondering what it was. I didn't see.
Grace John has also been doing like little functions outside of
Yeah, they have little
that
pop-up.
little bakery,
They do a lot of the farmers markets.
Bayou Daiquiris, the place that's right there on
Bayou Daiquiri. David and Vince.
yeah, the one with the Gator Bayou Daiquiri. Yeah.
It's pretty solid too.
Well, on that delicious, mouth-watering top 5 list, Wagons out.
Wagons
Wagons
up.
out.
I'm hungry.